Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again for coming to for viewing this channel. This is the Diaspora panel, the voice of the diaspora, where we discuss Nigerian politics and international politics. I want to first of all thank all our new subscribers. In the last few weeks, we've seen a few subscriptions, and I want to welcome you all to the Diaspora family. Thank you for subscribing, and please send all our videos to your friends so that they will also see our videos. And if you are one of our viewers but you have not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. Is free, so that when we do the next video, you'll be one of the first people to know about it. Today, I have with me Mr. Demola Adisa, who is based in the United Kingdom. Mr. Adisa, you are very welcome to today's meeting.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
We are expecting 2 other participants. They are on their way, and they will join us in the course of this program. Today, our attention is focused to the presidential elections that is going to take place in about 33 days from now, exactly 33 days from now. So, Demola, I want you to look into the crystal ball now. About 4 or 5 weeks to the elections, there's a spate of violence going on. I remember that sometime last week, the APC had an outing in Rivers State. There was a bomb, I think it was a bomb or somebody was shooting or something. And now, in the last few days, there's been a lot of kidnapping. There's been a lot of, in Benue State, we saw the herdsman, they attacked, in a village and, kill a lot of people. So there's been a spate of violence going on, only about a few weeks to the election. So there's a lot of anticipation. Is this election going to hold? Is it going to be postponed? Will it be credible if there's so much violence during this election? So, Demola, what are your expectations for this election? What is your hope and expectation?
Thank you, Deji. The 2023 election, this February election this year, is of high stake. There is a lot of, unlike all our political, since we've been in civilian rule, there is not an election that is as much important as this. And we think it's a very good thing that there is so much political awareness, especially with the electorate now, and also that people are eager to know, to be so much political, because a lot of Nigerians are political before. They don't take notice, they don't, especially the youth. And this time around, it seems a lot of things are at stake. Maybe because of the state of the economy, because of the state of the security in the country, and also because there is new players in town. So it's really a very, very, very sensitive and a very important year. So I'm not that surprised with the level of tension that is going on, bearing in mind that this election is really, we are going to experience real change in itself. So things cannot be done as it's been done before. And for change, there is always resistance to change. And people that are enjoying the old system will not let it go. And the people that want changes will not give up, because they have it up to this level. So they really can't, they have already reached the wall. They can only turn back and fight back. So I'm not surprised. But be as it may, politics should not be violent. There is no excuse for violence. People that engage in violence are the weaker people. That means they have nothing to offer. And because they have nothing to offer, so they have nothing to entice people, And when they have nothing to excite people, and because they are desperate for power, then they resort to violence. So it's because they have nothing good. People that the resort to violence is because they have nothing good to offer people, and then they believe that by intimidation or by act of violence or by act of terrorism, then they can coerce people to do their bidding out of their will, which doesn't seem to be possible this year.
Okay. Now, I want to also talk specifically about Southeast, where IPOB or maybe another organization related to IPOB, they've been causing a lot of, mayhem there. For example, on Mondays, they don't allow people to go to work, and there's a lot of, shooting and kidnapping and killings. So I'm not particularly sure that people in the Southeast will go out to vote. And the governor of, I think, Anambra State, Charles Soludo, has come out recently and said, Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, should be released so that it could be a participant not only in the election, but in the process of bringing peace to the Southeast. As it is today, the Southeast is boiling. It is boiling. People are being killed every day. People are being kidnapped every day. There's a lot of shooting going on. There's a lot of and this is about 5 weeks to the election. Demola, do you think we are headed for a rough time during this election, especially in the Southeast? Hello?
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Yeah. I've asked you the question. Do you think that we are headed for a very bad time in the Southeast during this election, on the election day? You think people will come out and get shot?
Yeah, okay. Now, the activities that goes on in the Southeast is not something that is peculiar to this month alone. It has been there for years.
Yeah.
Not only this year, for years, throughout last year. We can remember there are certain period that the IPOB always control people. They will instruct them not to come out this today or not to go to somewhere tomorrow. At one time, when there was supposed to be a Christian crusade in the Southeast by one of the leading pastors in Nigeria from the Southwest, and IPOB specifically restrained him that if he come, it is at the expense of his life. This has been going on. They have been threatening and they have been carrying out threats. They have been carrying out killings in the Southeast. So it's not peculiar to the election period alone. So this has been going on for years. But my surprise is the government have done nothing about it. The governors in the Southeast have not been condemning it. So it's something, because yes, IPOB is agitating for secession or whatever, but it has to be in accordance with the Constitution. It has to be in accordance to the law. There are judicial or legal process to do this. So if they are going it by arm's way, then that makes it untenable, because the state will have to fight back as well. But the state have been restraining from fighting back because for them to address the concern that is leading to this agitation. I believe every region have concern about what the unity of Nigeria is about. But we need to dialogue about it. We need to reach a consensus together. If we have to break down the consensus, it has to be by consensus as well. We need to learn from the past, from our the Civil War, the Biafra War. We should not go that way again. We are lucky to have been able to survive that. If we are, for any part of the country, I'm not talking about the East alone, for any part of the country to try to leave the country, to secede by force, is not a good idea.
Okay, thank you, Demola. Because of time, I know there are other hotspots like Benue State, for example, where the herdsmen are, they're doing a lot of damage into the farmlands and attacking farmers and all that. And also in the northwest region, especially in Kaduna State and some parts of Sokoto, there's Sanfora. There's a lot of killings, by these people, all these Fulani herdsmen from Niger State and from Chad. And there's a lot of issues there. So when you have things like that, is this a good time to actually do an election? Is this a good time to do an election? Or do you think this election should be postponed?
Now, the history or the antecedent of violence in Nigeria is, there are different reasons, there are different things that bring it up. There is not only in the southeast that we are having a problem, we have it in the middle belt, as we said, we have it in the northeast, especially with the influence of this Boko Haram and all the Islamic State of Africa or whatever, and also the Al-Qaeda that have interested. These are spilled over from the Middle East problem, as well as from the issue from Libya. From Libya as well. So all these things are what we are after effect of it that comes into Nigeria. And also people is come into the south as well, especially the southwest, also with all this ransom taking from people that are using this opportunity of all this gun that has come, that has flowed into our country because of all these wars that is going on all over the world, especially in North Africa. So all this has created a lot of insanity in Nigeria. So we are conscious of this, but there is no justification for us not to have the election. To postpone the election, we even make the things even worse. Okay. So the election, we still have to go, irrespective of whatever. We have it in 2019 as well, and the elections still go. Even in the Northeast, when it's even the hotspot of insecurity at the time, they still have election there. So, I believe this is even better than 2019 or 2015. It's even better now than then.
Okay, thank you, Demola. Let's leave the violence aside. There's this issue of G5. There's not been a conclusion yet. The G5 governors, especially by their leader, the chairman, Governor Wike of Rivers State, said that he's going to declare which candidate enjoys his support during the presidential election. Right now, he has not come out plainly to give backing to any of the candidates. We know that he's not going to back the PDP candidate. So now there are 5 governors from Rivers, Benue State, Oyo State, and 2 southeastern states, making 5 of them. And these are a large chunk of PDP's firepower, a large chunk of their infrastructure, political infrastructure. If these governors decided not to back their presidential candidate, there's going to be there's going to be consequences, because it's a large chunk of their vote. So, Demola, what do you think the G5 will do between the next 5 weeks, between now and the election is about 33 days? What is your expectation? What do you think they will do?
Now, to be honest, we put too much eyes on these people. It doesn't really, to me, yes, there is infighting in the PDP. Even when they were all together in 2019, they still lose the election, even when every one of them were cooperating. So it doesn't really, to be honest, to me, is by the way, they have ought the candidacy of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, and even if they reconcile now, the damage is already done. So even if they say, "Oh, vote for Atiku," whatever, it doesn't make if it doesn't help him anymore now, because Atiku is now a damaged good. Not only because they are not even want to vote for him. Atiku is not a good material even to sell, especially in the South. Having a Northerners ruling for 8 years for another Northerner to come again and again is not even sellable in the South. Apart from that, Akido doesn't have any good credibility for anybody to carry him to be voted for. He has nothing to offer Nigeria. So I don't think the issue of either we order the G5 or whatever, even if they reconcile with him, because from my look of things, they are succumbing to the pressure from the party, and they seem not to be as antagonistic about him as of now. And they have already created a lot of confusion with not only within their party members, even at the opposition, to see if they are cooperating with any other party or not. So it's just a distraction. Okay. I won't expect any other party to even look into this anymore.
But okay, so I understand your point of view, which is very logical. But what I want you to speculate on is, where do you think they will go? Are they going to support APC presidential candidate Jagaban? Are they going to support Peter Obi? Are they going to support Kwankwaso? Or what are they? Are they going to simply just, leave everybody in suspect? What do you expect them to do? Hello, can you hear me, Demola?
That's why I said, to me, they have. Yeah, I can hear you. So to me, they have already created a lot of confusion, not only for PDP, but also for other people. I don't think they should be given much prominence anymore. It doesn't really worth it. It's a distraction.
Well,
I will expect everybody to go back to the basics.
So it doesn't matter who they support now. It doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whoever they support. It doesn't really make any difference anymore. No, it doesn't matter anymore, because if they really want any effect, their support to have any effect, they should have done it by now. So it's too late now. Whatever, everybody is doing their effort now. Anything they say now is not because of their effort. It's because people are already doing it. So unless they have a alliance, a secret alliance that is between with other party or whatever, but so far so good, I don't think they are of any importance anymore.
Okay, let's look at Peter Obi's candidacy. At the beginning, he was a PDP member, and then he pulled out, to go and join the Labour Party, where he was offered the presidential ticket. So Peter Obi is from Anambra State, which is in the southeast. And a lot of people have speculated that because he's the Igbos are saying now it is our turn to become to produce the presidency. We have not had the opportunity since 1960 and all that. So, and they are saying that they should be zoned to the southeast. Now we have a southeasterner who is a presidential candidate. But the but is that there's another party in the southeast that is very strong as well, APGA, and they have a presidential candidate who is also competing in the presidential election. Do you think that will, in a way, affect Obi's conquering of the South? Do you think that will effectually do damage to Obi's Southeastern votes?
Yeah, I don't think APGA can damage Obi's prospect in the Southeast. What Obi is enjoying is the agitation and disenchantment from people from the Southeast about their position in the country. The support for Obi is not on his personality; it's a prostate vote. They're using him as a means of protesting the marginalization of the Easterners from presidency, or not only from presidency, from high position of authority. They are not being heading the armed forces. They are not being allowed to head sensitive position in the country, because it seems the North and the West are gagging up again and marginalizing them to reach those positions. So they are protesting seriously against that injustice of being marginalized in the entity called Nigeria. So Obi is just an opportunist to have come at a time to do this. I mean, to enjoy that privilege. To me, the damage Obi is doing, because it's only enabling APC to have an easy ride over the PDP. Because even when PDP is having the full vote of the East, they still lose to APC. So for now, Obi is breaking that hegemony that PDP have in the East. APGA only have hold or strong presence in Anambra.
Okay,
Probably.
so Demola, the question actually that I want you to answer is, APGA have candidates for governors, for senators, for House of Rep, they have all they have all these candidates, and they are the party of the East. They're a regional party. It's Ikemba Ojukwu's party. So they have this stronghold in the East. Now, side by side, Labour Party doesn't have any hold on the East. The only reason why the Labour Party will do well is because Peter Obi. So are you thinking that the people in the Southeast have been voting for APGA? The governor in Anambra State is an APGA governor. So are you saying all this infrastructure they have, APGA, are they going to deliver it to Obi, to Labour Party, and abandon their own people, their own candidates? What are you saying?
Okay, now two things. There are two ways to.
Hold on. First of all, let me welcome Mr. Ololawa, who has just joined us all the way from Calgary. Mr. Ololawa, you are welcome to today's meeting.
Thank you for having me, and my apologies for not joining early.
No worry. So we are discussing 33 days to Nigeria's election. What are your expectations? That's what we are discussing. So right now, I've just been asking Mr. Adisa about what will happen in the Southeast between APGA and Labour Party, Peter Obi, because the APGA is a regional party there that have a stronghold. And Peter Obi, being an Igbo man who, a Nigerian of Igbo extraction, who is seeking the presidency, and will be also contending for the votes in that region. So Demola continues. So are you saying now that APGA are they going to step down for Peter Obi? Are they going to step down for Labour? Are they going to deliver this vote for Peter Obi so that Peter Obi will have more votes to become president? Or are they going to split this and effectively end Obi's chances?
Now, there are two perspectives to look at it. One, Obi have used APGA platform in the past. His 8 years as governor, he was a governor with APGA. It was APGA platform that is used to become governor. When he doesn't see any prospect of APGA getting limelight, he moved to a PDP. He used PDP at least to contest as vice president with Atiku, and he doesn't get his way as well to reach the national level. So he left a PDP and is now using Labour Party. I'm damn sure that if Laderowaji doesn't fulfill his ambition this year, he will dump them next year and look for another prospect for another presidential election. Now, I don't think APGA will have any they don't have any goodwill. The way he dumped Abga, I don't think they will have any goodwill to support him in any way for this ambition, because they know he used them and dumped them. But Abga himself doesn't have prospect. Their candidates doesn't have national prospect. So I don't think they will have much against him on the presidential level. And I don't think there are people who will vote for him, but I don't think there's any issue about Obi having much vote as presidential level. But other ballots downward, governorship, House of Federal Assembly or whatever, I don't think Abga will give any room for Labour Party to have any edge in any of that area.
Okay, thank you. Let me bring Shupo into this conversation. So Shupo, well, as you know, Obi is a Nigerian of Igbo extraction who is taking the presidency. And the expectation is that his own kinsmen will support him by delivering the votes for him. But unfortunately, there's a local or a regional party called Abga, which is on the ground, has all the infrastructures, and they are contesting the election. They have a presidential candidate. So my question is, will Abga not deal a deadly blow to these chances if, if the people vote for her, maybe they split it halfway, or maybe Abga will have 1/3 of the vote, PDP will have 1/3 of the vote, and Labour Party will have, Obi will have 1/3 of the vote. That will do what Obi needs is a block vote from the Southeast. And with Abga there, not sure if they can get that block vote.
Okay, so thank you very much. I think this is a very, very important question. And I think we're still thinking about how things happen in the old Nigeria. We are in a very different time. Very, very different. And I know in the past, we look at party structures to deliver votes. I think there are very unusual things that are happening in this election cycle, and I will touch on a couple of them. One, this is the first time in recent political history in Nigeria where you see party loyalists and party members remaining in their political parties, but openly supporting candidates in other parties. It's never happened. It is new. And as a matter of fact, you see a lot of them when being asked, so why are you still in the APC or the PDP? And you are saying this. And they're saying, well, at state level, at maybe the senatorial level, I'm supporting the candidate of my party because I believe in them. But at the presidential level, this is the person I'm going to be supporting. It has never happened in Nigeria. So this whole notion about, a political party delivering is not going to happen. Can they influence? Yes. Parties can use the machinery of the state to, to stop maybe supporters of a particular opposition candidate from being able to vote freely. They can probably do that. But in terms of delivering, let's forget it. Just this past week, when Atiku Abubakar, the presidential candidate for the PDP, was in Ibadan, the governor of the state was nowhere to be found. I mean, there is no other massive blow that a presidential campaign can receive other than that. And it's quite obvious. Seyi Makinde, the governor of Oyo State, is part of the G5. I think they're probably calling them G6 now. It is very, very obvious that he is not supporting the presidential candidate of his party.
Okay.
So just to kind of put that in
the question I want to ask you is, Abga is a regional party. In fact, it's an Igbo party founded by Ikemba Ojukwu. Abga has a presidential candidate. So are you saying that the people of the Southeast, they are going to abandon their party and then go and vote for Labour? Is that what you are saying?
You just called the party Ojukwu's party.
Yes.
So people are not thinking party in Nigeria any longer. People are looking at candidates. Of all of the things that we've been hearing, where is the presidential candidate of APGA? Was the presidential candidate of APGA even invited to Chatham House? Why was it that it was Peter Obi and Rabiu Kwankwaso, apart from the presidential candidates of the two main parties that were invited? Even Showore was not invited to give any speech, on his vision. So, look, the presidential party of presidential candidate of APGA is not a main contender in this race. Let's just be honest. Nigerians are not excited about his candidacy. The candidacy that has drawn a lot of support, and actually from the last outing
Okay.
at Chatham House
Okay.
has also increased is Peter Obi. So
Okay.
APGA is not going to stop Peter Obi from getting as many votes as he will,
Okay,
in my opinion.
Let me go back to Demola. Demola, point blank, do you think Peter Obi has a chance to win this election?
I don't think so. A lot of people but I know it will make an impact, a serious impact on the election, but I don't think it can win. No, we have been looking for a third force, with the form of third force. Obi have successfully introduced a third force into Nigerian politics. And Kwankwaso probably a fourth force, even though Kwankwaso is more like a APGA in the north. So his prominence is only in Kano State,
yeah, in Kano.
Which I don't even think he can even win Kano. And he's seen the handwriting on the wall, and he's now begging to ally with Labour Party, because he can see that if he goes alone in Kano without working in collaboration with Labour Party, he will not win Kano.
Okay, so Shukwa, do you think your candidate Peter Obi will win this election?
From all indications, I think my answer would be yes. And if you ask me why, the reason is because you are looking at APC and PDP battling themselves out. The only person who has a chance of picking up, and winning when the two parties basically strike themselves out will be the Labour Party. I mean, all of the things that has been in the news in the last 1 week, between APC, making allegations against the PCP presidential candidate and, vice versa, it's not going to help either of the two parties. It's actually going to send some of the supporters, through to Labour, because this is not something that either of them can win. I think, in my opinion, we both know that both candidates in the two main political parties have some skeletons in their wardrobes, and they say if you live in a glass house, you don't throw stones. They will have been better off making the campaign strictly on the vision that they have for Nigeria, but they decided to play dirty. And the only person that I think that will benefit tremendously from that strategy is the Labour Party.
Okay, thank you. Well, even though I think Peter Obi is a social media tiger, I don't think he has roots enough, deep enough to win a presidential election in Nigeria. But I'm not going to comment much more than that. Demola, we've seen in the last few days what I call Atiku Gate. There's been a young man who has come up releasing series of videos. He said he was he worked with Atiku, as a handyman for Atiku. And he's been saying a lot of things, concerning Atiku setting up something like a company where if anybody wants to give bribe, they just pay to the company. And it looks like this company, that Obasanjo even know about this company, and Obasanjo asked people like Tuma Fashawe, who is still alive. And this is where all the bribes go to. That's where how they got their money. That's why they were able to steal money without anybody being able to trace this money, because this money was paid to all this company. But to my own chagrin, AFCC, ICPC, all this DSS, it's like they're all deaf. Nobody seems to. They don't seem to have had anything. So, do you think this will in any way affect Atiku Abubakar during this election?
It will affect him. It's already affecting him, and it's already affecting the party in two ways, because the allegation, or it's not something that people say, oh, I report that I hear this, is what is expression that come right from him, because the validity of it, because the recordings, they express him expressing these issues in his recording, and nobody had disputed that recording, that that is not him. So as long as nobody disputed the fact about that recording, that is true or not. And if he has said this, then it tells you a lot. Now, this, why has he not been convicted or whatever, is not because they don't know. Whatever we are hearing now, I don't think is new to the law enforcement, but they will just not do nothing. It's not that they don't know about this secret account. It's them that they cannot get into this secret account. And that is why they kept mute. They don't say anything. They know everything long time ago. All what this gentleman is exposing are not new to the law enforcement in Nigeria, but they will just not do nothing, because these people are too powerful to be convicted.
Thank you very much, Demola. Shupo, when you look at this kind of scenarios, when somebody who has been exposed, virtually exposed, I mean, we had his own voice, talking about this, and he mentioned names. Some of them are still alive, and we have this, so it's like a kind of institutionalized corruption, and nobody could do anything. Everybody, from top to bottom, even from the presidency, nobody could say anything to this guy. And we know this man is corruption personified, and he is contesting for an election that could change the face of Nigeria. Do you think at this point now, somebody needs to do something about Atiku Abubakar? I don't think this is the kind of person that should contest for this election.
I think the issue is much more deeper than that. And the reason I say that is because Atiku Abubakar is a symptom of a system that has prevailed in Nigeria for a very, very long time. As a matter of fact, I find it quite interesting that the other party that is calling this out seem to think that they can actually get either an investigation going and keep their own skeletons as well. It's a case, as I look at it, of the kettle calling the pot black. All of these players have engaged in nefarious, corrupt activities that they're all covering up. And I think if we want to be honest with ourselves, these are not the class of people, in my opinion, that can eradicate corruption, because they themselves have been involved in it, or at least, if not directly involved, have looked the other way while other people have engaged in it. So this is the problem. The only situation that can happen is if there is a fresh start, if there is a new face, if there is a new set of people.
Okay, let me stop you there. When you are talking about a fresh start, are you talking about Peter Obi as a fresh start?
Well, Peter Obi is not the only person. There are other candidates
Because I don't think Peter Obi is a fresh start, because when he was governor of Anambra State, he, invested public funds in his family business. And recently, during the Pandora box, his name was the only one politician in Nigeria that was mentioned. So I don't think that is a fresh start for Peter Obi, if that's where
okay. So and I can respond to that, but let's put that aside.
Okay.
Even if we take Peter Obi out,
okay,
there are other candidates who are running on other parties that will actually, I think, even Showore, yesterday at the videos that they marked from the signing of the peace accord, made some very, very important statements that I think every Nigerian should listen to. I think we will be deluding ourselves if we think we can still elect these people who have participated in corrupt practices and expect Nigeria to somehow turn around. It is not going to happen. Let's just be honest with ourselves. If we want a new Nigeria, the very first thing we need to do is to make sure that partisans that have engaged in and participated in these corrupt activities do not make it to public office. And then we can begin to see the light at the end of the tunnel with a fresh face, a new vision, and a new Nigeria where public officials are not only held accountable, but prior activities can be investigated. I don't believe that either Atiku or Tinubu can honestly run an administration that will be free of corruption. It's just not possible, because they themselves have participated, or at least in the minimal
allegedly
looked otherwise,
allegedly.
when others have engaged in it. So that's the reality. And if we still think that we can do that, we are still deluding ourselves as a people.
Okay, thank you, Shupo. And just finally, look at Demola, you want to say something?
Yes, I need to quickly, because we need to, when we discuss things on this forum, we need to be very objective. We need to be very much sincere to ourselves. There is none of the three main contestants, or even the four main prominent candidate now, that is a saint. Obi is as worse as Atiku. He has no credibility of his own as well. It's from all indication, it's not supposed to be in the public forum.
What is your measurement?
So don't even sell anything like that.
How do you measure credibility?
What
is the yardstick for measuring credibility?
A person that diverted public fund into family business, a person that is a person that is diverting public fund into secret accounts of his own, a person that is using self-interest and hiding under state fund under the family business or family interest, and using family into anything, it doesn't have credibility. And he has not, up to now, boldly say exactly what he has done for Anambra State up to now, because he has nothing to show.
I think Shupo has an objection. Raising his hand.
Yeah. So I think let's be factual about this issue of Peter Obi investing in his family business. There is nothing criminal about what he did. That practice is regarded as highly unethical. No, I'd like to make this point. This is funds that was invested in a business that actually yielded profits for the state. Was it criminal? Absolutely not.
Nothing.
Was it unethical? No, let me make a point. Was it unethical? No, absolutely.
It's not true.
It is.
It's fraudulent.
It's not. It is not fraudulent.
It's fraudulent. So divert public fund into private.
I can actually prove this.
It's fraudulent.
It's not. It's not. The money that he invested in the business actually yielded profits for the state.
It is.
Is it criminal? No. Is it unethical? Yes, I would agree with that.
Yeah, unethical means it's not right.
But it is not
benefit from it.
It is not.
And there is nothing up to now Up to now,
I won't-
the
I won't- I
states
won't-
is
I
still
won't- I
denying
won't-
that the
I
thing
won't
need
call it-
anything.
Unethical does
I-
not mean, unethical means it could signify some form of an influence. Or
I
that
won't call it.
process of-
Demola, I will not call it fraudulent because
it's not fraudulent.
because a lot of the government knew about it. They were investing money
Yeah.
to make profit, but
I mean,
it should not be.
The government it should be at the time.
the issue
should be at
here
the time.
is that the money was
It's
invested in a business that belonged to his family. If the money was invested in other businesses, we will not be saying it is wrong.
Right. Okay.
So this is where we are coming from.
Okay.
Because it's not
To be
accountable.
factual.
The family have not been accountable to the government.
Okay.
Because it's adding using the family as
that
a
is
conduit
actually
to
not
afford
factually
profit.
correct.
Okay. We are not discussing Peter Obi. We are not discussing Peter Obi. So
That is not factually
So
correct.
it's not a saint.
Let's
Don't count
leave-
him a saint.
let's
It's
leave
bad.
it.
It's as worse as the rest of them.
There's
He's
no
not.
saint. There's no saint in Nigeria. There's no saint in Nigeria. So let's leave it there.
I mean, Peter Obi has not been accused of bringing a bullion van during election time.
Okay. Let's.
I mean,
let's,
if we want to really get into that,
Okay.
Asiwaju is going to have a field day.
Anybody can use Billion Farm. Billion Farm is not an indictment of fraud. It's when he's even using Billion Farm, it was not even in
Absolutely
government.
not. No.
So using Billion Farm, it's not scale. Any business, anybody can use Billion Farm. Billion Farm doesn't signify anything.
He wasn't using a bullion van to bring bricks to make a house. He was using bullion van to transport money. He was going to be used for fraudulent activities and activities that are very undemocratic.
It's money, not your money. It's money. It's not money. It's not. It wasn't in government at the time. It was using the Billion Farm for its own money.
So you are saying that
different.
distributing money for an election is a democratic process, even if it is his own money.
People up to now, do you think money are not being distributed for?
But no, I'm saying, is that the right thing?
No. That's what I'm saying is that is not flawed.
Even I saw a
Don't
video
say
yesterday where Labour Party they were distributing they distributed money in Plateau State. So they all
allegedly. Actually, I'm still looking
it's
at that.
It's not allegedly. Please be sincere to yourself. This is what is going on.
The Labour Party so far is the only party where a lot of the activities that have been done by members have been done actually on their own volition and at their own cost.
Yes.
This is not a party where you have a lot of people that are bringing.
It doesn't work like that in Nigeria. Don't fool yourself. We don't.
This is
reality.
reality.
It doesn't work like that in Nigeria.
This is just,
there is nothing like that. That is what the pressure
let's
people
move
want
on.
you to believe. It is not true.
Okay.
The APC presidential campaign nomination fee was 100 million. How many Nigerians can afford that? 100 million. I mean, let's be honest.
Okay. Let's move on.
It depends on membership of each party.
Let us move on. Let us move on. Let's move on.
If
your party is member of people that are rich,
Okay.
then you can reach that. If your party is a lot of people that are not rich, then you cannot. Because people
thank
are
you very much. Because
listen
this
to me,
exactly
listen to me.
plays into the ideology.
There is
of the Labour
nothing.
Party.
Look,
Labour Party does not want a
Question.
party.
My next question, please, is on there's something we have been talking about before about restructuring, and the question I want to ask you is: whoever win this election, whether it's Obi or Asiwaju or Atiku or Kwankwaso or Sowore, whoever win this election, do you think the system that is operable right now in Nigeria is conducive for anyone to succeed? Or do you think we need to first of all pause a bit, take a breath, catch our breath, and do a proper restructuring to have a system that actually works?
That is never going to happen, to be very honest. There is no way the old guard that have enjoyed a lavish, corrupt lifestyle, a nepotism lifestyle, will live without a fight. Let's be honest. They are not.
No, that's not the question I'm asking, Shupo.
I'm trying to explain why it's not at any level in which we try to build a new system, they will fight it. That is definitely going to happen. If we think that, somehow a new system it's never going to happen, which is why a new system has to be a deliberate activity by the people. They have money, they have influence, they have everything. Why are we seeing in Nigeria? I mean, I went to school in Nigeria. I know what education used to be like. The system has been so bastardized that that education and poverty has been weaponized deliberately. So we are not going to get out of this easily. And I want Nigerians to understand that this may take 1, 2, or 3 election cycles to totally eradicate, but we have to start from somewhere. And as long as we are heading in the right direction, we should continue to pursue it till Nigerians take their country back.
Thank you. Demola, what's your opinion on that?
Now, restructuring, because one need to understand who is demanding restructuring, who needs restructuring, why do we need to restructure? Who is benefiting from the status quo? Who is not benefiting from the status quo? So why should the status quo change? Obviously, they not benefit a lot from the status quo. They won't like restructuring, even though the political elite will not like it, but the general masses in the North want restructuring as well. But it favors the political elite. The current dispensation favor the current political elites in the North. They will fight it. I believe that. But that is why this election matters a lot. The only way to have restructuring, if power go back to the North again this year, there will be no restructuring of any kind.
Okay.
That is obvious. The only way the restructuring can start and the North will yield to it is if we come back to the South, then we talk together, because there is no way Nigeria can go with this present structure.
Okay, so you do agree that this structure doesn't work?
It doesn't work for. It's not work for anybody. It's only for a few that are stealing our money and are perpetuating poverty in Nigeria. It needs to be it need to be destroyed. That must be changed, and that is why this election is very much important, and that is why I'm much passionate about this election. Nigerians need to come out. Everybody needs to come out to really bring this change into fruition. That must be changed.
Thank you very much. We've come to the end of today's deliberation. So I want to thank our 2 participants, Mr. Ola Lawal, who is based in Calgary, Canada. Mr. Lawal, thank you for popping in at the right time to contribute.
Thank you for having me today.
And also, Mr. Demola Adisa, thank you for being prompt today, and thank you for all your contributions. Thank you for
having me.
Lovely. So to all our viewers, we want to thank you again for viewing this video. Please, if you have not subscribed, press that subscription button. Within now and the next 4 weeks, we are going to be serving you every Sunday, our thoughts on the coming presidential election. And we hope that you will tell your friends and then send all our videos to your friends. So if you subscribe, it means anytime we do a new video, you'll be one of the first people to know about it. If you want to contribute, or if you want to send us any message, please send your messages to info@diasporapanel.com. So we hope to see you again next week. Thank you for watching, and God bless you.